who gets your nod? If I'm giving you one right now, I'm going to give you one team that is the most disappointing in the entire country this year. Who is it?
I got 3 candidates. Okay. Miami, Florida, Michigan, and USC. And I think, another outside would be Michigan State, but they show signs, and are you really going to count Izzo out in March? Right? I'm not. But I would say those 3, and I'd probably work backwards and start with USC first. And the reason is I understand it's hard to win with young players. And I think Isaiah Collier was a little overhyped, maybe a lot overhyped. But it's one thing to be disappointing and depend on young players. They went up to Oregon State and they got beat by 20. Oregon State should not beat anybody by 20 with what they're throwing out there. They just should not. And you have Boogie Ellis, who's an experienced fifth-year senior, former McDonald's All-American. They have wing talent. They have interior talent. And you have a coach that's, done a lot of things going back to the FGCU days and, of course, the USC. I think SC is one because you have a mix. And look, the Bronny thing obviously is a bit of a distraction. But I can't believe how bad USC is, especially in a year where the Pac-12 can be had. And they're nowhere close to being a top 3 team there. Michigan, for all obvious reasons, incredibly disappointing. Michigan State,
but not unexpected. But not really that unexpected for Michigan, per their talent level going into the year, right? I mean, not that unexpected. Maybe a little bit worse than we thought.
Yeah, I would say, if we're fair, last year you got 2 first-round picks, and you have, the most vaunted portal recruit in the country, and you can't make the NCAA tournament. Yeah. Okay, so Michigan State maybe more so, because they had so many guys come back and this influx of talent. There was this thought that this was the year for Michigan State. I think they've been disappointed. Their lack of shooting, and they haven't really figured out how to use Manny Sissoko. He hasn't improved, hasn't taken a step. So, and the fears thing that, when your freshman star point guard gets shot during Christmas break, I don't think you can plan for that. But I think a blind man would say Michigan State's been disappointing.
All right, so to me, those rank behind Arkansas and Villanova. Those, to me, are the top 2 in terms of disappointing. Okay, Arkansas, let's start there. Okay. They're now 1-5 in SEC play. And when things go bad for Muss, my guess is they go really bad. Because, again, Muss isn't a guy who knows how to deal with this right now. He's hit it every year with the portal. Give him credit. Nevada, Arkansas has got that program back. Well, you can't do this every year. And the chemistry is not great. And then, again, when you start to lose. Now, last year, I'm going to give you a stat, Doug. I don't know if you know this. You know what Arkansas started in SEC play a year ago?
1-5?
Yes. And then they won their next 5 to get to 6-5. And then they got rolling. Now, I don't think this team can do that. But if they beat Kentucky, game day is there this weekend. Bud Walton's going to be rocking this weekend. And I'm sure they think that they could turn this thing around. They got Kentucky at home, at Missouri, at LSU, Georgia, and Tennessee at home. If you win that game against Kentucky, can you flip this thing back, Doug?
Can you? Sure. I mean, and there's parts of the SEC that they play they're not crazy strong, but they were awful last night.
Right.
I trust them. I don't think they've done a good job of evaluating what they needed. I think they went after, it's a little bit of an issue sometimes, huh?
The wrong kids. Like L. Ellis came from a losing program. Battle hasn't fit in. Brazil was coming back from an injury. It just, other than Tremont Mark, it felt like they just swung and missed on every portal edition.
Right. Well, I mean, look, the world has changed, right? They were kind of ahead of it a little bit. And look, they weren't great last year, but Anthony Black was a huge get. And they, So I think Devo Davis, what's happened there, right? He was such an important piece. They get him back, and now he barely plays, and it feels like he can't shoot. He hasn't improved, and doesn't feel like they don't feel like they like each other. Now that any team, by the way, that's like 500 this time of year is not going to like each other. It's not just about the kids; it's about the matter of winning and losing. Like I've never seen. They don't have players only meetings for teams that are winning. They're like, hey guys, let's meet. We're 28-2. But yeah, it's really hard when you're running a transactional program, when you don't have, and then the guys that come back don't feel like they're ahead and aren't improving and don't get the benefit of the doubt. It makes for kind of a murky thing.